Sounds like we'll just let that go in the back, and we'll talk about anime games. So I've got a couple games. I mean, not all of these are based on anime, but they are. I would think follow the art direction and the storytelling of of anime. And so right off the bat, the first one I immediately gravitated towards. I don't know if this is the right music for anime. Do we have anime music? Do I have like an anime game here? Oh, Blaze Blue. Yeah, that would be an anime game. All right, let's just have that game run in the back, just to set the mood. Um, yes, but this game is a fighting game, and I have super obvious. This whole thing that started this, Dragon Ball, and this is Dragon Ball Fighters on the PS4. This game definitely sent shockwaves throughout the industry. For like one, it's a really good fighting game, but two, like holy cow, the graphics in this game look better than the anime itself. When like Arc System Works does an incredible job with their graphics in their games, doing like amazing 2D sprite work. And at some point with Guilty Gear in this generation, they figured out how to make that work in 3D. So when you look at Guilty Gear and you look at Dragon Ball, all of that is rendered in 3D, even though it looks like 2D art. So they're able to do things that... Oh man, hold up. The volume is way too loud. Let me turn that down. But yeah, I hope this music is anime enough for this particular segment of the show. Alright. Yeah, let me know if that's okay. But yeah, like a bunch of the heavy hitters are here. There's like 800 different versions of Goku. Vegeta's in here. Gogeta, Trunks. Piccolo is actually pretty decent. He's a little hard to learn, but he's a lot of fun. My favorite character in this game, though, Android 16, where he could just like dunk people into the ground multiple times in a combo, and he had his one super move that was an instant kill. If he grabbed you in it, automatic loss. That character was just dead. But you can only do it like once a match, and if you whiffed, like, that was it. And it was really hard grab to pull off, but when you pulled that move off in game, one of the best feelings in any fighting game, period. So yeah, Dragon Ball Fighters. Pour one out for Android 16. Yep. Yeah, the suicide move. So good. And it's cool that they pulled that in from the show. And yeah, one of the other things is a lot of the moves and the animations are like shot for shot exactly the same as the cartoon. Or the anime, sorry. I stopped playing this one partially because the matchmaking in it's really bad. And it just got a little samey. Like, so much of the mechanics are streamlined to make it work for a broader audience, but almost every character plays like the same. It's just like, yo, hit the dash button, everyone flies in each other's face, and then you just do crazy stuff that people can't block. That's kind of why I prefer Blaze Blue more in the long run. But yeah, I'm not very good at Blaze Blue. That's a fun game though. Not part of our anime show and tell. I should have had that though. Maybe my favorite... I just dropped the whole set. Maybe my favorite anime game of this bunch. And you guys can debate whether or not this is anime. I think it's pretty anime. Catherine. I take every opportunity to talk about Catherine because I think this is a phenomenal title that I think it did sell really well for Atlas, relatively speaking. And they just put out the remaster on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. I think it came out on Xbox. At the very least, it's on PS4. And the whole story of the game, as I pick up these things off the floor, it's like a mix of a sort of like a Telltale's Walking Dead game where there's people you talk to in the world and there's some decision making. It's half that, half puzzle game where, oh man, this requires some setup. You are playing as Vincent, and he has a fiancée named Catherine with a K, and he ends up... Oh, Fate Ghost Pirate Robot says, my daughter is crazy into Dragon Ball right now. She found a girl Goku costume, and telling her she couldn't get it for Halloween was tricky. There actually is like a female Super Saiyan in modern Dragon Ball. I think they added her recently. what was I gonna say now about Catherine? Yes. So you're a guy, you have a fiance named Catherine with a K, and then a girl named Catherine with a C shows up in your life, and now you start catching feelings, and you're like, where do I go? But at the same time, there's this weird phenomenon where guys are having nightmares and they're dying in their nightmares, and this is where the whole block solving thing comes, where you have to climb up these towers, and if you don't make it to the top, you die in real life. It's a weird thing, but I really loved this game at the time, partially because the puzzle solving part was really cool, and because the whole dating aspect of it, and just the subject matter of romance and infidelity is just a subject that isn't really talked about in video games. And I thought, like, one, it was cool that they covered it at all, and two, they kind of had an interesting take on it. And so Catherine is one of those games that, like, I haven't played this since I finished it, but it's a game that stayed at the top of my mind ever since. And I do want to pick it up on PS4 at some point and play it again. And possibly stream it, because, yeah, this is such a cool game, and I would love to experience this again and share this with you guys as well. Yeah, this was just basically an orange bikini. Yeah, there's got to be a way. I'm sure you could find either like a Goku costume or yeah, some variation of it. Like, you don't necessarily need like Super Saiyan Goku where the top is like ripped off. Anyway, two more things, and I'll talk about two of these together. This is Bleach. So this is, oh, one of these I'm holding the wrong way. These are DS fighting games about the Bleach anime. So like characters like Ichigo, who's the main guy, Rukia, Byakuya, like that whole crew. What's the story? Like, it's a teenage guy, and then he gets visited by this girl, and then they all become like, they all have like ninja powers and stuff, and their swords transform into like super, like, it's hard to explain. But I ended up stumbling on this series not because of the anime, but because I was looking for games to play on the DS, and I'd always heard that there were a lot of great Japanese games that just hadn't come out here or were never coming out here, and Bleach was one of them. And so I ordered it online, and like, it is such a cool fighting game. Maybe not the most balanced, but it was so much fun, and it inspired me to actually watch the anime. And at that point, then I watched like the first 100 episodes of Bleach. And Bleach, eventually both of these games did come out in English in North America. This one, the second one, is actually called Bleach Dark Souls, about a decade before Dark Souls came out. So I don't know what Sega had to say about Namco's game, but these were very cool fighting games for the time. Ian says that explaining anime is never easy in my experience. No, it's not. Oh my goodness. Oh, so there's actually two more games. Two more games. Is it two more? Yeah, it's two more. This game is incredibly anime. This is one from Capcom. Phoenix Wright, pretty anime as well. This is like on the other end of the spectrum. This is Asura's Wrath. And I picked this one up in a clearance bin. I'd heard some things about this. Like, it's, imagine God of War, where 60% of the game is QuickTime events. But oh my goodness, the QuickTime events are nuts! Like, there's a moment in this game where you're fighting this other deity, and you're in outer space, and the other character, like, stabs through your chest and through the other planet behind you. Like, it's nuts. Some of the most outlandish action I've ever experienced in a fighting game. Like, in a game, period. There's a lot of story, a lot of cutscenes. Oh, it's mostly QuickTime events, and the parts where you're actually controlling the character and punching stuff isn't that interesting. But man, the QuickTime event stuff that they do in this game is absolutely wild. So maybe you don't actually have to play it. Like, you might get the magic of Asura's Wrath just by watching a YouTube Let's Play. But I think you should check this out. Like, at least watch it. Go, like, pick a scene, pick any of the levels. They're all, like, bonkers. Last one. maybe the ultimate anime game that I have. Fako's Pyro Robot says, Bleach the show starts strong and tapers off hard. Yeah, I ended up watching till the Bound saga. So that's like where the vampires started coming in. And I think that is around the time, like my friend Wendy, who actually was, if you stayed up all 24 hours, she made a cameo appearance on the marathon at like 2 o'clock in the morning. She came by the house. As a gift, she gave me the first 100 episodes or so, and I stopped watching after that. And I think it started, the set she gave me like had the first part of the Bound saga, and that's where I stopped. And Fako's Spy Robot says those were non-canon filler. Fair enough. Last game, maybe the ultimate anime game that I have. And this one, I don't think this ever came out in North America. So maybe a little bit of a collector's item, sort of, kind of. This is Jump Superstars on the Nintendo DS. And this is a game officially licensed by Shonen Jump. And it's Shonen Jump Smash Bros. So as you can see, like, Naruto's in this game. Dragon Ball characters are in this game. One Piece. Like, Luffy's on the cover here. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is in here. And a whole bunch of other anime that I have no idea who they are. But it's basically Smash Bros. With all of the anime characters from like, the Shonen Jump franchises. And some of the things that made it unique is that the bottom touchscreen actually had, I don't know if you can see that on the bottom. No, you can't. The bottom touchscreen, okay, is actually like comic panels, and you would arrange them on your screen, and they would be at different sizes, and by tapping them, you would get different special moves and super moves, and you could customize what was on there to give yourself some different techniques. Fake Spy Robot says, I need that in my life, but on my TV and good. From what I remember, they made a sequel to this as well, Jump Ultimate Stars, which might be better than this one. I thought it was okay. I'm just not the biggest Smash Bros. Style guy, like fighting game fan, but I had fun with it. Personally, I would rather play the Bleach fighting game over the Jump Superstars, but they were both good. And Ian says, so this is like a precursor to Jump Force. Yes. Actually, yeah. Like, way before. Although I've heard Jump Force is not very good. I can't say, though. I haven't played any of those games. Actually, no, that's not true. I played one of the Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichis on the Wii. And I remember it was my cousin Michael who brought it to the house, and he demolished Randy and I in that game. Like, he's a lot younger than us. Like, now he's in, like, college. But at the time, he was, like, 8 or 9 years old, and I was in college, and he just obliterated us in it.